when I look at all the good things in my life, there was always something really bad that happened that led me down another path.
That's very true.
So, don't, if I'm stuck in a traffic jam and I was late to an appointment, nowadays I just go, well, Lord, whatever you just kept me from, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative.
Welcome to a podcast about music and entertainment before it all goes down the disposal. This is Circling the Drain.
Hey, welcome back to Circling the Drain. John E. Bozeman here, Johnny B. We are missing one guy. That'd be Jay Harper. Jay's on special assignment.
He's out in I'm jealous. He's out in like Myrtle Beach, I think, or something.
Is he really?
South Carolina.
That's where he's at?
Yeah, he's doing his.
He failed to tell me that part. I'm very jealous.
Or maybe he's not. I could be wrong.
All of a sudden, I'm not liking Jay, and I love Jay.
He's got his the Game Time Sports Network.
Yes, he does,
and that's taking him away. I appreciate that because
I do too.
Spinning plates.
He is spinning plates, and we totally understood. He said, "Man, I'm sorry. I would love to be there, but."
Tell him I'm sorry he missed me.
I think I will.
Yeah.
And before I get to introducing our guest, I'll introduce the man that makes this thing happen, Brother James McCarthy.
Thank you, sir.
James Patrick.
James Patrick, the murderer.
Yeah, one of the other, I said, when you say your name like that, James Patrick McCarthy, it sounds like a serial killer.
A little bit.
Because I don't know what it is about serial killers, but they always have the three names.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Think about that.
That's why everybody believed David Allan Coe when he said that he killed a guy in prison.
Who gives them the three names, though? Is it the media, or do they refer to themselves? Like John Wayne Gacy, did he refer to himself that way?
Well, Bundy was just Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy, yeah.
Let's see here. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah,
I don't know what his middle name was.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah. And I don't want to know his middle name.
No.
To be quite honest.
The guy who killed Kennedy was, why can't I think of his name?
Lee
Harvey
Oswald.
Yeah.
Allegedly,
yes. Yeah, he was part of it.
Well, I think that the real killer is a three-name individual as well, the CIA.
Yeah. or some people say George H.W. Bush. Before we go into that, we got a great guest today. I've been looking
forward to it. Is he coming later? That's exciting. I'll stick around for that.
But Scott Southworth, if you're not familiar with his stuff, you need to get familiar because this guy is one talented cat.
Well,
and I mean it. I mean, you are a great musician, great entertainer, and I love your website because in the bio it says, I write songs, I like pie, I play, what is it? Larrivee guitars, and I really like pie.
I really like pie.
So what kind of pie do you like?
Yes.
I mean, it's all of the above. It doesn't matter?
It does matter. It does matter. And I'm glad we're getting to these hard-hitting questions first.
Yeah, I want to get to this.
Yeah, it depends on the season.
Yeah.
Like in the springtime, you can't come at me with a pumpkin pie. I'm not touching it.
Well,
just like in the fall, I don't want lemon.
Yeah.
So it really depends. But I'd like to say I'm an equal opportunity pie eater. It's just a matter of, the right time of the year to enjoy.
I understand.
Yeah.
See, I'm picky. I just like pumpkin pie, like you say, in the right time of year.
The right time of year.
And otherwise, chocolate pie.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate meringue or chocolate cream?
It doesn't matter. Either one.
See, for me, it has to be chocolate cream.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like lemon meringue.
I can dig that.
But but no, I will try anything at least 3 or 4 times just to make sure.
Make sure you like it.
Make sure.
Give me a little more just to make sure I like it. In fact,
absolutely.
I'll test that one for
Jury's
you.
Still out.
That's right.
They're kind of dripping back in, so bring more out.
Jim, how about you? What is your pie preference?
I'm like you with the chocolate pie. I could pretty much eat pumpkin pie year round, and pecan pie. I like pecan pie.
Yeah.
No.
Nice.
See,
All right. Well, this was fun, guys.
I
Thank you
feel like-
so much for having
It's
me.
great to
I
have
look
you.
forward to coming back another time, and we'll talk cookies.
so we met. Now we met during the WLAC days, which is a radio station for those that are not in the Nashville area. But you should know WLAC because
Right.
it used to get out
Historic.
everywhere. Oh yeah, historic, man.
Yeah.
R&B, John R.
It was the
Hoss Allen.
first station that had that kind of reach.
Yeah.
That played what they called race music.
Yes.
After hours.
In fact, Hoss Allen, one of the DJs, which I got to work with, which I felt
Really?
yeah, he worked in the station when I was there.
Hmm.
And he was really cool because when he was on the air on WLAC, they all thought he was black.
Okay.
And he was a white guy. But he had black soul.
Wow.
And and he actually told me this great story of producing Jimi Hendrix's first record.
Hmm.
And as he told the story, he said, I get him in there, and he said, Billy Cox brought him in and said he put him on the session, and he said all of a sudden he starts playing all this wild, making it scream, and he goes, it's to talk about it. He said, hey, dude, he said, I just want you to play rhythm. I don't want all that wild crap in there. He said, yes, sir. And so they get to doing the, song again. All of a sudden Hendrix starts wailing. Haas looks at the engineer and goes, take him out of the mix.
Oh,
and
wow.
so Hendrix isn't on the first. They took him out. I said, Haas, what would have happened if you'd kept Hendrix in there? And he said, I wouldn't be talking to your white eyes right now. So anyway, that's where we first, I think.
Well, I wasn't. You had already moved on.
I had moved on to TN
You moved
by
on
then.
to TN. I moved here in 2004.
Oh, well, that's true then.
Yeah, but
So I've got it all wrong.
That's okay.
Imagine that.
That's all right. Fake news. No, what happened?
Well, I'm Joe Biden. I can't remember.
Where we met was the news guy at WLAC,
Dan Idem,
would have Christmas Day cocktail party kind of a thing, you know, and with hors d'oeuvres, and then we'd all go in the garage and play music. And I met you. You were dating your beautiful bride.
Was I dating Glenn at that time?
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys had not gotten hitched yet.
Yeah.
But that's when I met you, and we just kind of have kept in each other's orbit. You know, we message
have.
back and forth here and there, and
yeah.
I just always enjoyed visiting with you, and I've told you this before, but I loved it when you'd be subbing in on TN.
Oh, thank you.
Just because I get bored with nonstop politic fire hose.
That's why we're doing this now.
Yeah. And the fact that you would talk about anything, I've always really, really enjoyed that.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Well, the same here. I've loved your writing. I love your music. The big thing I like about you is that it's hillbilly music, but it's hillbilly with wit.
No.
And you're a great writer.
Thank you.
I mean, you really are.
I appreciate that.
And tell us a little bit about how you got into the music career and how you got it going, because you kind of did it late in life, did you not?
Well, I mean, I did music all the time. I learned how to play guitar when I was 17. And so I wasn't playing drums at 5 like Reggie, but no, I started playing. My uncles all played guitar. My mom sang. And so I was always around music.
Yeah.
I started playing in bands, and as soon as I learned 3 or 4 chords, I started writing things.
Yeah.
But it was never matching up to the kind of bands I was in. I was in oldies rock band, Little Richard type of stuff, or rock or reggae or blues. But everything I wrote was country, and that comes from very early exposure when I was like 2, 3, and 4 that I didn't really consciously remember until much later in life.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh man, I was immersed in this stuff early on because I couldn't figure out where these songs were coming from.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing, squeeze my lemon until the rooster crows for days. And I'm writing a honky tonk song. And it's like, I don't know where that's coming from. And it never matched any of the bands I was playing in until much later.
Yeah.
I'd walked away from music, and eventually in San Diego, I joined a country band. And while they were having a cig one night with the porch door open, I started noodling around on an old song, and they're like, what's that? I said, oh, it's just some stupid thing I wrote. And they said, well, keep going. And 2 weeks later, they're doing 10, 12 of my original songs in our sets. And so I'd been writing country for years and had no idea.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I'm not a smart man. So it took me a while to catch on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also had a great show on WLAC, I remember, the Music Row show.
The accidental radio show.
How'd that come about?
Well, I was having lunch with my buddy Heino, who also sold radio at WLAC, and we were both songwriters, and we were both having lunch and just complaining about how we couldn't figure out any access. You know, we're on Music Row.
Yeah.
There's all these publishing houses, or there used to be, and we just couldn't figure out how to get in there. And I said, it was very our gang, little rascals type of thing. I was like, I know, let's do a show. I said, we'll do a show and we'll interview these people. And so we thought about it, and we kind of put an idea together. And then I said, when am I going to do that? Because I was selling radio at night. I was driving airport shuttles till like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And then that was like 4 nights a week. And the other 3 nights I was out playing any songwriter night I could.
Yeah.
It's like, when am I going to do this? Forget it. So I put the kibosh on it. And about 2 months later, I was in my sales manager's office, Bill Bunton, if you remember.
Yeah.
Bill Bunton.
I remember Bill.
Scott, come in here, please. And Tom Peace, the program director, was in there.
Great guy.
And Tom said something that still sticks with me in a meeting. Speaking of word salads earlier, he said, somebody was asking him about something. He goes, it is what it was and has been since the last time we discussed it.
That sounds like Tom.
Wow, you said absolutely nothing. That's incredible. I'm in deep admiration.
He made a career out of that, actually.
He did.
What a nice guy, though.
But we're sitting there, and they're complaining and talking in Bill's office, and Peace goes, we still got these 2 hours that we got to fill on Sunday nights. What are we going to do with that? I said, I'll take it. And he goes, what are you going to do? Just play your songs? I said, I like where your head's at, but no, what about this? And it was quiet for a minute, and he goes, all right, you start in 2 weeks. And I go, well, I've never been on radio. What do I do? And he goes, not my problem.
Wow.
You start in 2 weeks. I go, well, how do I book it?
That sounds
He goes,
like Tom.
Again, not my problem. Come in next week. I'll give you a 10-minute tutorial, and off you go.
It's pretty much all you need. You know?
Yeah.
That's it. and so then from there, we interviewed anybody and everybody from Dolly Parton, Little Richard. I think I told you about Little Richard.
Rodney Crowell.
And a bunch of rock, producers and publishers, and for 10 years.
Wow.
Vince Gill, Ricky Skaggs, just it was incredible.
Yeah.
And the thing that I learned out of all that was there's the stars, right? But
right.
And there's an arc of a career for an artist. And at first we were trying to talk to people right about here.
Yes.
Until we did a couple of those, and they were just terrible interviews. It's like everything was great.
Yeah.
I love my producer. I love my label. I'll have so much fun. I love everything about this. No, I want to
talk my new record.
I want to talk to people here.
Yeah.
Because then we would get these real stories.
Right.
And so, and I just learned that, even if you had a bunch of success 10, 15 years ago, chances are you got a baseball cap and you might be working at Home Depot for the health insurance.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of helped me calibrate how I wanted to treat my songwriting and my artistic, that and during the commercial breaks. We had a publisher in near when I decided to kind of head in a different direction creatively. And I said, during the commercial, I said, okay, seriously, what are you looking for? And he goes, super young, super hot, artist capability, can do all their stuff on a computer, all their demos on a computer, so we don't have to pay for it, and writes with all the other young, hot hit writers in town. And I sat there and I go, no. Okay, then. And it just kind of helped chart me on a different path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did go down a great path. What got you going as far as what you're doing now with a singer-songwriter?
You know, I always sang my own demos because I'm cheap and I can mimic certain things. So I'm always like, okay, whatever the song needs, that's the kind of voice I'll do.
Yeah.
But every year I would use one of my budgeted demos just to do a song that I like, just that I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Because it was 2006, 2007, 2008. That was the rise of bro country, and you know, the stuff that I wanted to hear was that traditional, that you know, the pedal steel and the fiddle and all of that. So I would do one a year like that just for me. And in 2016, I had enough to do a whole project of just that. So I put it out just for the heck of it. You know, I had done a couple of mishmash CDs.
Yeah.
Since moving here, and I don't like to brag, Jim, but they sold upwards of 9-10 copies each.
Hey, that's something.
It is.
But I put
it's more than we sold.
But I put this album out, and I woke up the next morning, and every morning I started getting emails from different places in Europe saying, "Oh, we love this. It's on heavy rotation. This is getting played, and we're doing an article, and we're doing a podcast, or not a podcast, but you know." And I was just like, "What on earth is this?"
Wow!
And it turns out I found these little pockets in Europe of ears, that were hungry for that style of country that wasn't cover songs, that was originals, and so I started touring over there, and it's great because I can go and be a hillbilly rock star and get treated really cool and go play for thousands of people. And then I come home, literally I played a festival in Norway, thousands of people. And the front row, several layers of the front row are younger people singing my lyrics. So they're familiar with it.
Oh, wow.
And I fly home, and the next week I'm playing a little art festival here in Spring Hill. And it's in a coffee joint. So I start to walk in, and they go, "Oh, no, you're playing outside." Okay. So I set my little thing up outside, and I'm playing to my wife, 2 kids on a swing, their mom on a bench smoking a cigarette saying, "Bobby, don't push your sister so hard." and you know, and that's the coolness of it, is I can go and play, you know, like I'm something, and then come home and go back to my day job and play for little Bobby and his very dizzy sister. So so I love it, but I get to play my own stuff, and so to answer your original question, it was just, I always sang my own demos. So when I had enough for a whole album, I said, "Oh," and honestly, I was planning on doing a couple other projects, but then that took off, and I said, "Look, it's what I love to write. I'm just going to lean into this." And I have for the last 10, 11 years now been having the time of my life and making, you know, I don't quit my job. It's not anything like that. But compared to when I was beating my head against the wall trying to write for radio, you know, I can have some fun and make a little money and play my music for people that want to hear my stuff. And I think what the show taught me is the idea that if you're in music, you're rich beyond your wildest dreams is usually not the case.
Right.
You know, there's the Garths and the Dollys and the, you know, the biggies.
But that's rare.
But that's a percentage of a percentage of a percent of people that ever get to that level.
Right.
So once I saw all that, I go, well, then I just want to play what I want to play. And I'm having a great time.
Well, it comes across.
Good.
Oh, it really does, because your music, it makes me happy. I mean, I just love your videos, especially when Grandma used to honky-tonk.
Granny used to honky-tonk.
Yeah, what a great video with Dallas Moore, man.
Yeah, man. Have you met him?
I have not.
Oh,
I've never got to meet him.
What a trip. That guy plays something like 315 shows a year.
Wow.
And I mean, just in a van, running around night after night after night. I could never do that. I would not want to do that.
No, I'm with you.
I like to be asleep on the couch by 9 o'clock at the latest. But what a great artist he is, and a fun songwriter to work on that with.
Well, and you've also, what was it? Middle Finger First.
Yes.
In fact, I think I heard. Did you play that on Matt Murphy's show on?
I
TN?
might have. Yeah,
I think you did, because I listened to that interview that day.
Yeah.
And when you played that song, I thought that should be the national anthem of Nashville drivers everywhere.
Exactly. No, and I don't know. There was a gal that worked at Clear Channel in traffic, a young girl. And she came up to me one day years ago with that idea. She goes, "I have an idea." And we tried to write it, but I wasn't old and grumpy enough to write that song.
Yeah.
And I held on to it for probably 10, 12 years.
Wow.
Until I was out at a cabin I live out in Marshall County. Yeah. And I was at a cabin where on Tuesdays, these guys all get around and smoke and drink and play guitars and complain.
Yeah.
And one night they were just on a tear and they're complaining about everything. And I just started cataloging it all. And I got home and I was a little tipsy, and I found an interview with Sammy Hagar interviewing Mellencamp.
Yeah.
And at the end of the interview, Hagar says, "So what pisses you off?" And Mellencamp says, "Everything." And between them, that, and the Middle Finger First, I said, "Oh my goodness, there it is." And just was able to put it all together in just an hour or two. And it's a fun song.
Oh, it is.
People love it. You know, I love that you said what I do makes you happy, because what I focus on more than anything else is, you know, so many people are wanting to preach one way or the other.
Yes.
And I want everybody to like my music. You know, I have very dear friends that I hang out with on a regular basis that have no idea how I vote. It's like, I vote, I donate, and I shut my pie hole up and I play music. Because I just want to be, even if they're only listening to one song, if I can take their mind off the fire hose of information that we're all bombarded with for 3.5 minutes. Yes. That's awesome. And if they come to a show, that's even better.
Well, see, that's why I think music has always been about. That's why I've never, you know, I like, I've always liked Steve Earle's music, but I can't take going to his shows because I don't want to be preached to.
Well, you know what I think though is, if you look at that generation, who were they looking up to? The Byrds,
right?
Dylan, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and that was a time when we had one news source, right? At 6 o'clock, you know, Walter Cronkite,
right?
And so I think that the music being a voice was more important than now when we're in 24-hour news cycle and you're just bombarded every minute of the day. Your Facebook posts that you see, your you know, your Tinder profiles, Jim, just everything you see online.
Grindr.
Oh, all right. It's a party. But, you know, I mean,
let's get it straight. All right.
You can't escape it now. So for me, and if someone really feels the need to be a message type of artist, God bless them. It's just not my choice. I just want to take your mind off it and give you a smile.
Well, and that's what I like. And as far as protest songs go, I don't mind the songs. It's the onstage constant.
Right.
Yeah. When they get into a political speech.
Right.
It's like, that's not what I came here to do. I came here to get away from all that.
Yeah, because half of the artists, if all they did was sing their songs, now you can't hardly understand a lot of their singing anyway.
Well,
so I wouldn't know, if it was a protest song or not.
No, I mean, and to me, those are great protest songs anyway, that if you can't really,
right.
You can't, well, it's like Steve put out one called The Revolution Starts Now, and it was around the time that Ron Paul was running.
Yeah.
And Ron Paul made it a revolution. And I thought, well, the song works for him. It works in that way, so you don't have to, put it in with that genre. But you just write great stuff.
Thank you.
That I love. And the one that I really fell in love with was Cicada Enchilada.
Okay.
Because I love, and I wish Jay Harper were here, because Jay is from Louisiana area.
Oh.
And he would have loved that. I mean, he loved that tune.
Yeah.
Because it's got such a Cajun flavor to it.
Well, and that was from listening to talk radio. I was on a drive. And I was listening to, was it Murphy, or it might have been Brian? I don't know. It was somebody on TN, and cicadas were coming out.
Yeah.
And they're like, is it cicada or cicada? And they're talking about it. And what's the point of them? What good are they? And I'm driving, and I said, oh, cicada enchiladas. And that made me laugh. And so I kind of fleshed it out. And then I reached out to my buddy, Les Kerr, who's also from the Gulf.
Yeah.
And he just had his, he does an 34th annual Mardi Gras concert at the Bluebird.
Oh,
he does
wow.
every year.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I need this to sound like a Cajun song. So
kind of like a Zydeco in a way.
Yeah. So I said, I need someone that has that sensibility.
Yeah.
And so he came in and wrote it with me.
I was really shocked when I heard Jay, because he's such a master at voices, and he comes out with that Louisiana twang. I was like, because I try to do voices as well as a voiceover artist, and that's one of the dialects I cannot get.
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough, but he does it so well.
Oh, it's natural with him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, and you would not know, because Jay has that quintessential broadcaster voice.
Boy, he does.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah.
I can see why he has so many plates in the air, because the guy's so good.
Yeah,
that's great.
Good.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
That's a part of the country I always wanted to explore more. I was just telling my business partner this morning about it. I said, I just feel inexplicably drawn to like the bayou and that the basin area.
Well, they're an interesting group of people. When I went down there, for one, don't go down in July and August.
No.
Because it takes your breath away. But the people down there it's just a different vibe, a different breed. I mean, and plus I went to some Alcoholics Anonymous meetings down there, and you talk about wild, because in those meetings they tell their stories of, their tough times with addiction. And, I've done them in several different towns, but none like down there.
Really?
It was like wild. I thought, wow. How are you
I
still
feel
alive?
good about myself now.
How are you still alive? But yeah, it's a fun. I'd like to spend more time down there. I'd like to go down there again, because I really did enjoy my time down in Louisiana.
Have you seen, what's his name? The actor from American Pie with the eyebrows.
Oh, Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy. Have you seen his Reluctant Traveler series on Apple TV?
I think I know of it. I don't think I've seen it, though.
It's a great series, but there's one where he goes down into the bayou and spends time, at a crawfish boil and just really immersing himself with those folks. And you could not have two completely different types of people.
Yeah.
But it's a great series.
Yeah. I mean, I've taken like I had to do a lot of work down in Baton Rouge, and it's just introduced. I just love going down there. It's very run down. The infrastructure is really run down, but you get into those areas with the hanging Spanish moss and that iconic look of that. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish my wife was here with me, you know, and I would always go through New Orleans because at the time New Orleans, I've never been there before. So I'd always drive through it and across the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, that is just absolutely staggering.
It's amazing.
You're in the middle of that thing. You can't see land.
No.
You know, that's so cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
When you're driving into those areas where you have the Spanish moss and you're getting into the swampy areas, put on Neville Brothers' Yellow Moon album because that's just it. It's just like a little soundtrack for driving through that area.
Yeah.
I remember going through downtown New Orleans on the way back from a job that we were doing there. And I would always just take that little jaunt out there. It's so scenic, you know?
Yeah.
And I had to go to the bathroom, so we pulled off and found myself right across from Cafe Le Monde. And they had music. It was a Saturday morning, I want to say, and there was all sorts of stuff going on, music and everything. And you're hearing that authentic New Orleanian jazz. I'm like, I just want to hang out here, but I can't. I've got a 10-hour drive to get back. But man, I just want to go back and hang out.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's a fun place. I met Aaron Neville once. I got to go backstage at a show of his right after we got married. Sorry, Neville Brothers.
Oh,
and my wife's never going to listen to this, so I'll tell a nice embarrassing story. We had been married maybe a year, and a friend of ours went to school with Charles Neville, so got us all backstage, and I was a big Aaron Neville fan. Big Neville Brothers, period. But I got to meet him and I introduced myself. And his voice is so low when he's talking.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he's up there when he's singing. But I said, it's so nice to meet you. And he's like, I said, my wife and I's very first morning after we danced in the shower to Yellow Moon. And my wife just goes 3 shades of red.
Yeah.
She's mortified that I would say that. She turns around and won't face him. And he just sits there till she turns back around and he goes, the morning after what? She leaves. She's out. We got out in the audience and she's so mad at me. I can't believe you'd say that. You've humiliated me. And she was so angry. And before they did Yellow Moon, he goes, this one goes out to my shower dancers. And she's like, did you hear that?
Changes, doesn't it?
All forgiven. Everything's fine.
You're now the hero.
That's right. That's right. I was a hero for at least 10 minutes there. But yeah, so that's my little Neville Brothers. But yeah, great CD to be listening to while you're driving through.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, man.
One of these days we'll get down there.
You will.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we ought to do. We ought to do a road trip.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Scott.
Do some remotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remotes always work.
Yeah, they do.
Radio
they
remotes
never
are
go
great.
wrong.
Well, see, we could get you, you play some gigs down there. We'll go down and do a podcast right there and
There you go.
have a party.
You mentioned Reggie earlier. Maybe we'll make a,
Yeah, get him
he's a
involved.
troubadour.
Well, and I got some New Orleans friends that are musicians that,
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm a drummer.
There you
Don't
go.
hold that
That's what I
against me,
hear.
though.
I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of drum?
I'm also a musician.
So those two things are not mutually exclusive.
Right.
Okay, good to know.
It was bang on thing.
Good to know.
Yeah, Dan Idem watches this. He'll be after both of us.
Dangerous.
Dangerous Dan.
Dangerous Dan. Did you ever see his horn band?
Yes, I did.
Boy, that's something else, right?
Man, you talk about a guy that he can play and sing anything. That dude,
yeah.
he blew me away. Probably the best moment I've ever had as far as music went was they played the Exit. It was when he's with the Billy Joel
Christie's X.
Christie's X.
What a great band.
Well, the guy that usually did the Billy Joel part wasn't there. He was sick.
Oh no.
So they were playing anything they wanted to. So they played Highway to Hell.
Okay.
And I just got a divorce and I was in the crowd and the lady I'd taken with, she goes, you sing that. Why don't you get up and sing it? I said, I can't do that. That's, She goes, now go on up. I bet your buddy wouldn't mind. And so I went up and sang the last part. And man, the crowd went crazy. It was fun.
Oh, that was a great band.
They were a great band. But Dan's been in every, he's just a phenomenal guy.
He is.
And I really miss him being in, he was a good news. You talk about a good radio guy and a good musician. He had both going on.
Well, and And up at WLAC, you know, back when it was Clear Channel, not iHeartRadio, but
no heart.
When I started, when I started at WLAC, the newsroom had like 12, 13 people there. It was a huge newsroom, and of course every Christmas and twice a year they'd have the, you know, the what do you call them? The layoffs,
the cleaning of the house,
the cleaning of the house. And so
it's always at Christmas.
There'd be less and less.
When I got let go, it was a week before Christmas.
Yeah, that's kind of what they did.
Yeah, that's what they do at all of them, because my last one was a week before Christmas.
Well, 'tis the season.
Yes, it is.
Tis the season.
It's the week of good luck with future endeavors.
Yes, we wish them well.
Yeah, that's why I love too was the emails. You know, they'd always put out the email.
Future endeavors.
So and so has been let go, or he's on to future endeavors. We wish him well. P.S. If you see him around the building, please call the authorities.
Call the authorities. Well, in Dan's office was a picture from a Christmas party with all of them together, Sullivan and oh gosh, I could, if I thought hard enough, I might be able to remember all their names. But and he had put X's on all their faces until it was just him, and then he made it look like one of those motivational posters.
Yes.
And it said teamwork. As long as we stick together, nothing will ever go wrong. And it was just him is the only one there.
Was it a picture of him like doing this? Whoops.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant.
That's the thing, is like, you know, what radio really thinks of you. It just says it right there in those letters.
Boy, it does.
You know what I mean? We wish you well in your future endeavors. If they're in the building again, call the cops.
Yes.
Because we know you're nothing but fragile, emotional little puny humans.
Well, I remember when I went to get my last check at WLAC.
Yeah.
I went down, and then they kept me in the
lobby?
In the lobby, and they had somebody watching me. Like,
was Toy giving you the stink eye?
Yeah.
Remember Toy, the little lady that worked in the front desk?
Yes.
You didn't mess with her.
No, you did not. But they also sent somebody down to watch me while they were going to bring my final. I thought, what am I going to do? I'm not going to do anything.
So I was an anomaly. When I quit radio, I was starting my own little business.
Yeah.
And I was still doing my weekend show there for another year or two. And so I was the only person I ever knew that didn't have somebody walk me out. I didn't have security. I kept my key card, and I grabbed my stuff and got to say goodbye to everybody and walk out. And people were like, I've never seen anybody get to leave that way. But since I wasn't doing anything else in the media world, they were just like, and I was still there on Sundays doing my Music Row show. So they're like, all right.
That's me too. I guess I'm an anomaly as well.
Look at us, unicorns.
17 years in the business. I never got fired.
Wow.
I know.
What was interesting about WLAC was after Phil had left, I did a talk show, and then they moved me to the morning, to a morning show. And they seemed real happy with the morning show, but right after we started the morning show, I get called in, and I'm told that in May or June, that I'll lose my job.
Oh.
But they said, but if you can hang in till then, we'd appreciate it. And no problem. So I knew for months that my ending was coming in June, May or June. I can't remember what month. But it was hilarious because every time I'd walk in, like you said, there was like 1 million people in the newsroom.
Yeah.
And it'd be early in the morning, and I'd come in and go, "Dead man walking." But I knew it was coming, and so that was very interesting.
Well, radio, it's a fun world.
It really is.
I'm glad I did it. It was all completely accidental. I would have never planned it.
Yeah,
but it led me down a lot of directions that, I would not be out there as an independent artist had I not gotten that sales gig.
Yeah.
And been in the office that day, and it's just all the pieces just kind of come together. I tell my kids, whenever something is happening that you think is probably the worst thing ever,
yes,
just relax, because when I look at all the good things in my life, there was always something really bad that happened that led me down another path.
That's very true.
So, don't, if I'm stuck in a traffic jam and I was late to an appointment, nowadays I just go, well, Lord, whatever you just kept me from, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative.
Yeah. I mean, I think too many people look at life, life's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be a party. No, life is tough. Life is hard. But like you said,
it's not fair.
It's not fair. It's tough. But like you said, from bad times, good things will come.
Good things will happen.
Yes.
If unless you look at everything as, look what just happened to me.
Right.
Look what just happened to me. No, it's just, okay, what else? What does that mean? What's out there?
Right.
But what do they say? They say, we didn't do this because it was easy. We did it because we thought it would be easy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then here we are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Life will keep you down and keep you there if you let it.
Yeah.
Nothing will hit as hard as life. It's not how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Rocky Balboa outside the restaurant.
Oh, I thought I came up with that.
Talking to his son. That's a great scene.
It is, and it's so true.
It is true.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm thankful too, because when I got started in radio, I started working for my father. And people think when you say that, oh, well, you got it, it was easy.
Yeah.
Not with him. I mean, you would think the guy didn't believe in me because he
was harder on you.
Well, he was. He stuck me at, my first gig was 9 p.m. till 6 a.m. Playing country music.
There you go.
And I almost got the impression that all through my time working with him, it was just constant knocking me down to see if I'd get back up.
Yeah.
Let's make it as hard for him as possible. And if he can take it, then
he was being a dad.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we are, and by the way, your podcast on your dads was super interesting. And
thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Thank you.
But I think we are harder on our sons, probably because we see ourselves and want to help them not do the stupid things we did.
Right.
Forgetting that our dads saw the same thing and how we responded to them trying to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
So, it's just this vicious circle. But I think we're inclined to be probably harder on our sons than our daughters.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think I call that cosmic humor.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be tension.
Yeah, there is.
So back to you.
Oh, yeah.
And your
Let's
career.
Talk more about me.
Let's talk about
Enough
you.
about me. Let's talk more about me.
But you've got a new project that you've got coming out. It's a live album.
I do. And it's, again, a complete accident. I am the Forrest Gump of indie music because I just kind of end up somewhere and something good happens.
Yeah.
But this last Thanksgiving weekend, I was clearing out my Dropbox account. I got all these folders and figuring out what I wanted to get rid of. And I found a file that says Scott Live. And I go, I don't even know what that is. And I look, and it's from a sold-out show I played in East Tennessee in 2022.
Yeah.
The sound engineer that ran sound that night recorded every microphone and amp separately and had done a mix and you could hear the audience, their engagement and their, hooting and hollering and talking back to me and stuff. And he sent it to me in 2 files. It was 2.5 hours of a live show. I'd never listened to it. I'd never even, I'm sure when it came, I don't know what I was doing, but I was like, well, I'll check that out later. And I never did. But I was like, holy cow, I got a live album here because I'd been wanting to do that right now as AI is becoming more and more prevalent in music.
Yes.
Everything is getting much more polished and perfect.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I really want to record something that's raw.
Yeah.
And
thank you for that too.
I've been talking to different producers and it's going to cost more to do that than it would to produce a studio album. Just because of the degree of difficulty.
Wow.
As they're saying this and this, I'm like, oh, geez, I don't want to spend more money. I'm trying to spend less.
Yeah.
And but so to have this drop in my lap, I'm like, holy cow! So I sent it to my mastering person. She mastered the songs, and I'm in it probably 15% of what I would normally pay for a full CD project.
Wow.
And it's fun, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you hear the audience coming back and forth with me, and the band was sounding great, but there's my guitarist was like, are we going to punch in? Are we going to add? Are we going to fix? I go, nope, this is us, baby.
Make it real.
This is what we sound like when you come to catch one of our shows.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty excited. That's going to come out April 10th. And that's going to be fun.
Well, you sent me a couple of cuts, and man, they're good.
I mean, and I think had I known I was doing a live album, I would have been all stressed out and I would have been making a lot more mistakes.
Yeah.
I had no idea he was recording it.
That's even better.
Yeah. So and I talked to the guy, I told him that I was going to do this, and he goes, oh man, the last time you were here, that last Friday show was killer. And I go, oh, cool. And he goes, I have all of them.
Wow.
So there may be a whole series of live albums coming out from me. I'll just keep sending them to you. He was really happy that I'm doing this. I got to buy him a steak dinner or something next time I see him.
Yeah, no lie.
Yeah.
Because they do sound good, man. The cuts you sent me, they were really good.
Thank you very much.
Quality's good. And
yeah. And the band was in a great mood that night. We were just loose.
Yeah.
And when you're in a room, so that night was 2022. When the guy introduced me, he said, last time Scott came in here, he sold out in like 5 minutes. It was like the quickest sellout we'd ever had.
Yeah.
But the last time I'd come in was in 2021, right after COVID.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you could have booked a charcoal briquette and it would have sold out in 5 minutes. And the guy didn't miss a beat. He said, I tried for the briquette, but he was already booked. So, but yeah, man, it's a great little room called The Station in Louisville, Tennessee. It's about the size of the Bluebird Cafe. It sits about 100 people.
Oh, neat.
But man, they are all there to listen.
Yeah.
And to be part of the show. And it's a hoot. I don't think I didn't send you the parody song, did I?
No, I don't think so.
All right. I'll send you that.
Please do.
Later.
What to play it?
I don't think you want to play this. And it's not on the album. It's a deep cut that will never see the light of day.
Sounds like my band from Connecticut. Except all that stuff sees the light of day, and I should probably deny it.
Now as an entertainer,
yeah,
one thing that drives me crazy, especially if you go into a small town and you're in a club, it drives me nuts when I'm trying to watch the person singing.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the talkers.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at an entertainer kind of like a preacher. You're not going to sit and talk all through the guy's sermon.
Mm-hmm.
That drives me nuts. Does it drive you? I mean, especially if you can hear them on stage.
Well, it does sometimes, but I'll tell you the time that really drove me crazy was when I saw Merle Haggard's last show at the Ryman.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of knuckleheads behind me talking at the top of their lungs, and I'm like, you really paid money to
talk through Merle
Haggard. But I was at the listening room once, and there was some well-known hit writers, and they were trying to play, and it was a loud room.
Yeah,
and they started getting mad, and they're like chastising the audience, telling them to be quiet. And then Kathy Mattea got up after that, and it got quieter.
Yeah,
and then after that, this little old lady. I mean, white, tightly shorn, tight hair, and maybe 4'9", comes up on stage all by herself. The guitar looks like it's as big as her.
Yeah.
And she starts, doom, 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 doom. I learned the truth at 17. That love was just...
Oh, wow.
It was Janice Ian.
Wow.
You could have heard a pin drop. in that room. And that's when I realized it's not for the audience to shut up. It's for me to give them a reason to shut up. And
Good
so
point.
when that does happen to me, my challenge is to engage them. So I do a lot more sing-alongs and get them to where they're having to yell out and sing out, and that hopefully gets them a little more engaged.
Yeah.
Now, Merle Haggard shouldn't have to do that. Those knuckleheads should have just shut the heck up. But when you're playing in a bar in a little room, it's up to me to give them something to shut up for.
Yeah. Good
and
point.
if I don't do that, then
it's on you.
It's on me.
Yeah.
It's on me. But I did tell you a story. I did have to tell one of my friends to hush up in a very unpolite way just the other day. But again, I probably shouldn't have even been playing in that room. It wasn't a good room for what I do.
Yeah.
So you live and learn.
Yeah, that's true.
My daughter is just starting out as an indie artist.
Is she?
And she sent me a video of her. She has her little solo acoustic amp.
Yeah.
And she's playing at a bar in Knoxville, downtown Knoxville, on a Friday night with just solo acoustic. And I felt so bad for her because all you hear is everybody talking.
Yes.
And she's singing as loud as she can. And it's like, well, those are, we all have those nights.
Yes, we do.
And it's, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
Do you curl up in a ball, or do you find another way to do it? So
you find another way to do it.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
It's all learning, as you know.
Yeah, it is. So good for her. I told her the other day, I said, those are the gigs you remember and that you'll laugh about down the road. And that's where you get your scars.
Well, exactly. And how brave of it is it of people to get up and sing?
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a lot of guts.
Yeah.
A lot of determination.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's all learning as far as how to get a crowd engaged and
you just got to figure it out or don't. And who is it? Aaron, the guy that used to be in Stained, Aaron.
Oh gosh. That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That Aaron guy.
That Aaron guy.
Yeah.
He gets so mad. He'll just start yelling and cussing at the audience to shut up.
Oh yeah.
And or I saw Mellencamp do that recently.
Really?
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He got all mad
too.
and starts yelling at people. It's like, hold their attention.
Your attitude towards it's kind of refreshing. I call it the concept be them centric. Like, it's about your audience. Make it about your audience, even whether it's social media, whether it's a radio show, it's always about your audience.
Mm-hmm.
And by proxy, it becomes more about you, but it's still, from your point of view, has to be them centric. That's what feeds you back. It's an interesting way to put it, because I mean, when we had the eSpaces thing and Neil and Kayla went up and sang, that's what was happening. There's people chattering, not giving full attention. I mean, here you got some, smash hit songwriters, and Neil's voice is, you can sing like a bird, and it's like they're just chatting, and it's very frustrating from an audience because you're trying to listen,
Right?
Yes.
but at the same time, I'm like, well, you got a point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the accountability aspect of that.
Well, and even in the like when I saw Tom Petty, at first I was a little annoyed, but the crowd was singing with all of his songs,
Sure.
the whole crowd,
Sure.
and I thought, well, I came here to hear Tom.
Yeah.
But then I kind of got into it because I thought, this is cool.
It's a shared experience.
Yeah, it's a shared. So I started singing with
Yeah.
him. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with this.
No, man. No. And I like what you just said. What did you say?
Be them centric.
Be them centric. So when we started the Music Row show, Heino and I said our motto has to always be little us, big them.
Yes.
Little, and I'm that way on stage too.
Yeah.
Little me, big you. I want to bring you into the show, and I think that's important.
Yeah,
because
that's a good
I know
attitude.
me. I'm not that interesting. I'm pretty boring. So I'd much rather make it about them than
Well,
me.
you're in good company here because we're boring guys.
There you go. There you go.
We're nerds.
But you do it well.
Thank
But
you.
do
We're
it
real
well.
good at that. Yeah, we're real good at that.
Aaron Lewis.
Aaron
That's
Lewis,
who-
there you
That's
go.
right.
I'm on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And his country stuff is killer. It really, really is.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you just can't cuss out an audience because,
No.
you want them to be quiet.
Well, and two, they paid to get in.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I saw Justin Townes Earl, may he rest in peace. And I thought he was a really talented kid, and I really liked him. But I saw a video of him on stage, and he was talking, and this guy was yelling at him to, sing.
Yeah.
And man, he tells him to F off. And I thought, man, no, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't tell the audience to go F off.
I don't know.
He's
Some do, I
shut
don't.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Yeah, we played one night in San Diego, just in my cover country band that I came across years ago, and there was nobody in this bar all night long. It was the first time we'd ever played in this bar. Nobody knew who we were, and it was like 3 guys at the bar had just talked through our entire thing, 4 hours.
Yeah,
soul crushing, and finally near the end, I said, "Guys, what do you want to hear? Play an Elvis song." Okay. So we did Suspicious Minds, and we finish, and I said, and he goes, "Not that one." There you go. There you go.
that figures. Now, my buddy Phil Valentine, who I will love till the day I die,
Mhm.
but you had a great story about seeing him overseas of all places.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story?
Yeah, and I think it was one of the tours I did that was coinciding with Harry and Meghan's wedding, I think. Did he go around that time?
I think he did.
Was that the one? Okay,
yeah, because he's always taking those solo trips to Europe.
Yeah.
Where you just have a ball.
Which I didn't know. I didn't know he used to do that. But, so I'm, you get off the plane and you got to go through customs. And that's one thing that surprised me is how long it takes to get through customs.
Yeah.
When I started touring over there, but so I'm in line and it's like a Disneyland line, right? It just snakes around and around. And coming towards me is Phil, and I said, "Excuse me, are you Phil?" And he goes, "Yes."
You sound just like
yes. And I said, "Oh man, hey, I'm Scott. I live in Nashville. I've been to a couple of functions with Johnny and Dan Idem, and I just named off some of our mutual radio friends."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, great to meet you." And we chatted for a minute, but the line's moving. So it snakes back around and we see each other again. And hey,
Phil, hey.
And then it goes again and again. And near the end, I said, "I probably should have said hi around now." It would have made this whole thing a lot less awkward because, we don't know each other. What are we going to keep talking about?
Yeah. So how is the walk going to the end of the line?
Yeah, how was that?
Mine was good. I'm getting a little bit of a cramp in my right ankle.
Yeah. Hammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You good? Can I get you anything? I'm a little bit closer.
So, yeah, that was... but what a loss for this area, and but I mean, so many people still have so many great stories and great memories of him, and so that's good stuff. But I'm happy I had that little moment with him, and I've had a few of those. I had one with John Prine where I was in the B section, he was in the A section, but we were at the same number. And,
wow.
And I said, "You're John, I'm Scott with the Music Row Show." And he said, on WLAC, he goes, "I listened to that. That's a great show."
Wow.
And I said, "Well, I'd love to have you on." And he goes, "No, thank you." But no, because we had started filming him. And he goes, "Now, ever since my stuff," he goes, "I really don't want to be televised or filmed." And I said, "Okay, I can respect that." But we chatted for a while, and I just love those little moments. Dolly Parton held my hand.
Well, there you go.
We did a couple of interviews, and then after that, we started getting invited to her junkets. And I'd gone into one where I just had shoulder surgery, and so I had one of those things on.
Yeah.
She's like, "Well, honey, what happened to you?" And I said, "Oh, I was in the living room dancing to Backwoods Barbie." And "You're a liar." And so she held my hand for the rest of the interview.
Wow.
My other hand, not that one. But yeah, she held my hand. And so I can say I've held Dolly Parton's hand.
Well, I hate to say, but, at the start of the show, I was saying that I didn't know Jay was in, Son of Your Climb. And now this guy has held Dolly's hand.
That's crazy.
I loved I love Scott, but
you're feeling some anger now.
I'm feeling some damn jealousy right here. I'll tell you.
Well, you know what? If you had that infinity gauntlet, you could snap and get rid of me right now. And
well, no, I wouldn't want that, man. And plus, if we were talking about Scott playing over in Europe, and he does play here. He does. Yeah, you've got a lot of dates coming up.
Yeah, I don't know
Nashville.
I don't know when this airs.
I don't know when this is going to air, but you've got several coming up in March. And
go to the music, not the Music Row show. Go to scottsouthworth.com. So it's scottsouthworth.com. Facebook is Facebook/Scott Southworth Music. Yeah. Instagram is Say Howdy Scott. X is Say Howdy Scott. And Tinder is John Bozeman, and that's where you find me there. And that's
you want Frackle?
Yeah.
Okay, Frackle too. Good.
Frackle. That sounds interesting. It sounds illegal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Scott's OnlyFans site.
What's your OnlyFans?
Yeah, that's
it's OnlyFan, and my mom's the only one on there. Yeah.
Did not see you going that way.
My mom.
And if you go to Scott's website, you can meet the band.
Nice.
Scott.
That's Scott. It's Scott. But the new album coming out April 10th is called Scott Southworth and the Honky Tonk Anonymous Band, because it's the first time I've recorded something with my band.
I like that name too, by the way.
And
good name for a band.
Well, it's because members are always changing, so they're you never know who's going to be there.
Yeah, that's most bands, isn't it?
Well, but how great is it that we live in Nashville and your subs are killer, right? So we're very blessed. We're very blessed to be here.
Yes, if you need a drummer, let me know.
Yeah, I hear this. Or
if you need a rhythm guitar player, there you go. Guy sing
Highway to Hell,
harmony with you. I can do good harmony.
Have you? Good. What instruments are in the band?
Typically, for most shows, it's stand-up bass, pedal steel, electric guitar, and me, because the style of country I do really lends itself to those days before they had drummers.
Right.
That said, when I'm playing the Honky Tonk Tuesday at Eastside Bowl or an outdoor festival or something like that, absolutely I bring in drums to have that, to fill up that larger open space. And I just added fiddle too.
Piano or anything?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. And but what's interesting to me is my bass player, my pedal steel player, and my fiddle player are all female. So it adds a different dimension, both visually and my daughter just recorded her first EP, and I produced it, and we put she wanted mostly female musicians, so I took a lot of my band and then we got a couple others, but it was a whole different feel in the studio too. And they said, this is the gentlest session I've ever been in, but it was still rocking. But there's just a different feel, and it's a different feel on stage too.
Yeah,
and their approach to the instruments is just a ton of fun. So yeah.
Well, I see, I've always been a big fan of girl bands anyway.
Yeah,
I always have been.
I just like those Robert Palmer videos. Remember those?
Yeah, the girls that
all the girls in the back. Yeah,
that barely. They didn't even show any emotion.
Yeah,
that's what.
What about the Iron Maidens? You like them?
The Iron Maidens? Yeah. I don't know. I've not
heard of them.
Really? I have not.
No. All female Iron Maiden tribute band.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah. There's a great female band here in Nashville called the Dead Deads.
Okay,
they are very good. You need to check them out.
Right, I should.
Yeah. We can get them on the show sometime.
Let's do it.
There you go.
But Scott, I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us today. And we got to have you back, especially with Jay. We can get Jay in here.
Yeah, we could talk about all sorts. I have an idea for a book that I'm working on called "Go Indie Without Going Broke," because
I like that.
The thing that kills me about this town is how many people will take money for very little result.
Yes.
And a lot of money, and really prey on those dreams. So being the cheap you-know-what that I've always been, I've always found ways to do things that don't break the bank or affect my family's budget. So that could be a whole nother show.
And I'm telling you, man, your records are class. I mean, the musicianship, the singing, everything is just, it's superstar level.
Thank you very much.
It really
That's
is.
nice of you.
So keep up the good work, man.
I will.
I will stay a fan, I promise.
I will continue to put the me in mediocre.
You've been watching this podcast, haven't you? But anyway, we will be back with another episode. Like us, subscribe, check out circlingthedrain.net. Get yourself a T-shirt or a cap.
Ooh.
One of those, and visit Scott's site as well. And we'll be back with more of Circling the Drain. Be here with us.